How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. This is the MOVA P10 Pro Ultra Gen 2 robotic vacuum. I reviewed the previous version of this and it was a really good budget-friendly model below $500. They made some changes to this robotic vacuum, including doubling the suction power from 13,000 pascals to 26,000 pascals and increasing the hot water temperature of the auto mop washing from 140 degrees to 212 Fahrenheit. Hotter water means it can sanitize the mop a little bit better and also wash away the grease a bit better too. The Gen 1 version of this thing already performs very well in terms of a budget-friendly model. It can vacuum up paper debris, pet hair just fine. It can mop just fine all the way in the corners as well. One obvious drawback, and I don't think is that big a deal, is this navigation module. It doesn't go up and down, so there's one less motor in there. That means that it's a little bit taller, so it can't go under furniture as well. In my living room, there's not much to go under, so this actually does not matter that much to me. There are other models that can climb over things. For my house, there are no ledges, so it actually does not matter. With that said, let me test out the vacuum and mopping performance. First, let's do my standard vacuum test. This is good so we can compare between different robots from my different videos. Like usual, I have my paper shreds and also some pet hair here. Spread it all across. As usual with the pet hair, I'm going to spread it thinly across this center area here. Usually it's not this bad and this would be considered a worst case scenario. I like to rub it in because that's usually how it is on typical carpets, to the point where you actually can't see it very clearly. But I'm going to leave it somewhat clumped here so we can see it in the video. There we go. Let's run it. I'm going to start it on maximum suction power in vacuum only mode. This is really good. It did a vertical vacuuming grid and then did a horizontal. Most of it is picked up. There's one little piece here and I'm going to gather all of it. One here, and not much along the edges. This is actually really good for a budget-friendly model. In terms of pet hair, I can try to scrape it a little bit, but I don't see any left over here. So pet hair removal is also very good. Let's do a mop test now. Brewed a fresh cup of really dark black tea and I'm going to spread it all over and we can see its performance, especially around the edges and corners. It's been a couple of hours and the tea has dried. I'm running my fingers through some of this. The center is still slightly wet, but this dried on tea stain will take a little bit more effort to get off. Because it's such a big mess, I'm going to run it on the wettest setting and deep cleaning mode, which is the highest density routing. It's completed one deep cleaning mop pass, a little bit in that corner, a little bit in that corner, a little bit here, 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 and here. So all robots on the market today cannot do it in one single pass. So when it's a test case like this, where I make it really, really messy, it may need a few passes. And in my experience, if you run the exact same settings, it's just gonna miss the same spots. So what I'm gonna do here is change it to a different route, which is the intensive route, the second to the most highest. And then it's likely going to take a different path and maybe mop the corners a little bit better. It still left a few spots in the corners here, here, and a little bit there. So I'm going to run it again yet on a different route on standard mode and maximum wetness. A little bit left in the upper left and right corners, but this is due to the physical limitation of a circular mop. It just simply cannot reach all the way to the corner. Other than that, it got everywhere else just fine after a few tries. As usual with these mop style robotic vacuum, they can mop along the edges with the mops extended, but when it reaches the end, it will stop, retract the mop so that it can turn in place, re-extend the mop into the corner, and then proceed to mop along the edges. The side brush and mops are independently liftable. Here we can see the mop stopping and lifting itself back into the vacuum cleaner.
Mopping completed.
This is useful because if it happens to be traveling over carpet with the mops, then it will not get your carpet wet if the mops happens to be wet also. I like how the top is completely flat so you can stack whatever you want on it temporarily. It lifts open to reveal the dirty water and the clean water tank. The clean water is 4.5 liters, with the dirty water being 4 liters large. The center part here hides the dust bag and the cleaning solution. You have the dust bag here. You can just pull this tab in order to remove it. It seals it as you remove it so that any kind of debris inside doesn't come out in the air as you empty it. It has a multi-purpose cleaning solution tank. It only fits one kind of solution in this one. Generally, I think it's a must to have a cleaning solution to clean up anything that's a little bit oily or sticky. Not absolutely necessary to have a dual solution one like some of their more high-end machines. There's a pressure seal over here for the vacuum bag. just close that back up. The front has a camera and a bunch of sensors for it to recognize any kind of objects in front of it. There is a navigation module, and this thing inside does spin around. Lift this lid to see what's underneath. There's a dust box over here. If you pull this tab open, there's an internal filter that you can remove and replace if needed. Just flip it over. I dirtied up the mops already. This is already cleaned and dried, but the tea kind of stained the mops over here. These are held on magnetically, so you can just pull them right off. And that's how it detaches and reattaches these. It's with like a little magnet control inside here. There's a little pathway here for it to move the mop outwards to get to the corners. At the center here, we see there's a rubber styled brush. It's in a V shape. We can pull that open and pull this out and take a look. We flip it over. There's a rubber gasket that's sealed all the way around that allows it to move up and down and still remain sealed and airtight. Some of the higher end models, they do have two rollers. One here, and they just kind of roll towards the inside. This is more of a budget-friendly model, so this will still work. Side brush here, it spins to try to brush anything outside towards the inside here. This width is what does all the suction. And this little brush will bring anything that's over here towards the center and bring in those dust debris into the dust box. These wheels are not the climbing style one. These are intended for more of a flat surface and not for climbing over obstacles. You have 1, 2, 3, 4 infrared sensors here. If it never gets a return signal, it knows that it's about to fall off the edge and it can stop itself from falling. Towards the back, you have these little guiding pins so that it can back itself up into the base station and allow the charge prongs to touch these contacts correctly. There's also a water injection nozzle over here so it can go inside the robot. You have the mop washing plate here, these guiding pins for the robot so it can contact these charge pins, spring loaded so it can press onto the robot, the nozzle for the water input, and this little piece over here, when you get debris, you can actually pull it out and empty it as needed. There's a little hole here to suck up the dirty water and bring it into the dirty water tank. And as the robot rotates those mops, it scrubs itself against this little ledge here, and it can scrape all these debris and let it fall down into there. There are two holes for picking up the vacuum debris. One of them is to push the air into the robot. The other one is to take out all the debris and put it into the dust bag. We can kind of see through the side. There's a mop right there. I'm going to initiate a hot water mop washing, and then we can check out the temperature after it's done.
Task completed. Please empty the used water tank timely.
Let's check out the temperature of the mops. 86 degrees underneath here. Oh, this is the thing that gets really hot. 130 degrees. No wonder this little piece here, it's metal. I think I can touch it at 130. It's very hot. Very hot there too. So it's not actually heating the water. It's heating this little pad that in turn touches the mop pads and heats everything up. Personally, I like really good value, and at this price point, I think this vacuum can basically do everything that most people want it to do. All the fancy features is nice to have, but not absolutely necessary. What is absolutely necessary is high suction power, which this thing doubled over the Gen 1. You do absolutely need at least one kind of solution, and this one has that. Some of these more advanced vacuums that cost a lot more, maybe twice as much, will have these roller types of mops that will continuously clean itself. Personally, it's not that big a deal. I've seen a lot of these dual mop system that performs better than those roller mop style ones. If it's a really, really big mess, it might have to come out and mop multiple times. But if you really think about it, it's a robot. You can tell it to vacuum or mop as many times as needed until it gets the job done. Personally, I don't think you have to spend $1,000 for these robotic vacuums anymore. They have all these advanced features that sort of trickle down to the more basic models now. So I do recommend this one. Check it out. Check out my affiliate link down in the video description below if you guys are interested in getting one of these. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time.